Welcome back to Draft Genius, and in this video we're going to take a look at Kyle Pitts, tight end from the University of Florida. The 2020 NFL Draft didn't have a ton of big-time talent at the tight end position, but the 2021 NFL Draft is already looking like it could have multiple tight ends taken in the first couple of rounds. In this video we're going to take a look at Kyle Pitts, and I'm going to explain why I think he could potentially be one of those guys. Pitts is one of those hybrid guys that's played tight end and receiver for the Gators. He's listed as 6'6", 239 pounds, but he has a skill set that makes him a dangerous weapon out there for an offense. He reminds me a bit of Devin Funchess coming out of Michigan, who was playing tight end, if I can remember correctly. Funchess ended up transitioning to wide receiver in the NFL, and he's had a pretty solid career so far. I don't know if I see Pitts playing receiver full time as of right now, but I'm sure he's gotten better going into this season, so you never know. On this first play, Florida comes out in a 3-by-1 formation. Pitts is a single side receiver lined to the top of the screen to the boundary. And as that single side receiver in a 3-by-1 formation, you get a lot of opportunities for one-on-one situations. That's what Florida gets here on this play with Pitts. In this position, he's an automatic mismatch against corners that are anywhere from 6 inches shorter and 50 to 60 pounds smaller than him. Tennessee is playing man-free and the safety rolls to the middle of the field away from the single receiver side. The corner's playing press coverage, but he has no chance to get an effective jam on Pitts because of his size. He gets an easy access inside release, and he does a good job of getting back vertical and utilizing his size and strength advantage to create separation from that corner. On this play, you get the same thing. 3-by-1 formation with Kyle Pitts being the single side receiver aligned to the boundary. Auburn is playing cover 4 here, so the safeties are tied in to the number 2 and number 3 receivers to the field. So once again, you essentially have a one-on-one matchup with Kyle Pitts versus a corner. This time, instead of press coverage, you get off coverage by this corner. This is where that wide receiver skill set comes into play with Pitts. He's not a speed demon, but he has enough speed to threaten this corner vertically and keep him honest. He closes the cushion quickly, and he's savvy enough as a route runner to get the corner to open up with his stem and then stick his foot in the ground and break back to the post. Really good route and really good catch here by Pitts. Same thing here, but you get it from a different look. Another 3-by-1 formation, but this time Florida is in a nub set with Pitts attached as opposed to being split out wide. This is something that can be advantageous if Florida decides to run some type of stretch to the boundary. It would force that corner to come down and be a secondary support player. Florida opts not to do that here, and instead they isolate that corner versus Pitts in a one-on-one situation. Once again, Pitts has enough speed to keep corners honest. He presses vertically upfield, and the corner opens up to the outside to get ready to run with him. As soon as Pitts gets on his toes, he breaks across the corner's face, and he's wide open in the middle of the field. I love what Pitts does on this play here. Pitts is running a simple wheel route here. It's nothing special, but it's an example of what he can give a team as a pass catcher. He's going against Grant Delpit here, who was one of the best defensive backs in the nation over the past couple seasons. He does a good job of selling the quick out route, getting Delpit to break on it, and now that he has him out of position, he's able to use his speed to take advantage and get upfield. Not only does he get open here, but he makes an excellent contested catch on the sideline as well. Kyle Pitts does have that receiver skill set and probably will be better suited in an offense that utilizes him that way. But he's going to have to be effective as a blocker in order to maximize his potential. This area of his game could use a bit of work. This play here, he's lined up against K'Lavon Chaisson, who was a first-round pick on the edge. It's 3rd and 1, and Florida is running quarterback power to the right. Kyle Pitts does a terrible job at the point of attack, and had this been a 3rd and 4 instead of a 3rd and 1, the quarterback might not have gotten his first down. Chaisson beats Pitts off the ball, easily goes around him, and makes this play on what could have potentially been a Florida touchdown. Once again, Florida is running power to the left side, and Kyle Pitts is at the point of attack. He gets absolutely zero movement, and Chaisson is able to long arm him, hold his gap, and make the play on the tailback. This play here has Pitts to the 3-by-1 side at the top of the screen. He's the number 1 receiver, and his responsibility is to block the corner on this bubble screen to the tailback. I know it's in space, and that corner is probably a better athlete than him, but he has to make this block. He'll be in positions like this a lot once he gets to the NFL, so whiffing on a block like this and getting your tailback blown up is unacceptable. With that being said, he does show some good stuff on occasion. On this play, he's once again at the point of attack, He does a good job striking and watching the edge defender down the line of scrimmage. I think he could do a better job of getting his hands inside and getting more movement, but I see the willingness to block. The technique could be cleaned up a bit, but Pitts definitely doesn't shy away from the bump. I'm not a fan of drafting tight ends early on in the draft. It takes a uniquely talented player at tight end for me to consider him worthy of an early pick. The first tight end was taken in the second round in this past draft, and in 2019, the first tight end taken was TJ Hockenson at number 8, who didn't really do much this past season as a rookie. I see Kyle Pitts as a uniquely talented player based on what he can give you in the pass game. Guys like George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Zach Ertz are hard to come by. Guys that can create mismatches all over the field and be utilized in multiple positions. He could definitely clean up some things as a blocker, but in my opinion, he's a top 15 talent coming out in the 2021 NFL Draft.